Hi, this is Dennis at Visual Imaging Solutions, and welcome to our forest studio. You know, we use trail cameras here, and we recently had a viewer question about one of the features on our trail cameras and whether or not it's available on that particular model camera. So we're going to talk about that today. Well, here in our forest, we use trail cameras to track the behavior patterns of the animals roaming around because we have an idea in the near future that we'll set up blinds for nature photography and nature videography for us to come out and shoot some photos and videos of some of the wildlife that roams around this woods. And we want to make sure we understand where they are, when they go there, what species we're going to be photographing so that we can get it just right. And we use trail cameras to do that. And of the two models that we use, one of them is the Meidase P100P, which is what I have right here. Another is the GardePro E6P. And we like these for a couple of reasons. One is that they're Wi-Fi compatible, which means that we can connect to these with our phone without having to necessarily take the memory card out and bring it all the way back to check what's on it. So we can come down here, just get in close proximity with these cameras, and we can use our phone to see what's on the card, just get an idea what's going on with the wildlife before we actually have to bring the card out and take it inside and take a look at it in more detail. So that's a nice feature. But one of the things we really like about this is the removable rechargeable lithium-ion battery pack. If you're using trail cameras a lot, you're going to find yourself having to use a lot of AA batteries unless you have some other power solution. And both the Meidase P100P and the GardePro E6P come with a really nice rechargeable lithium-ion battery pack that holds a charge for a long time. After about 12 months of usage, I think we've only had to recharge one battery pack one time so far on these cameras. We're down to around 40 to 35% charge on these batteries. And again, months of usage. That's fantastic. And then just a simple recharge and they're back in business. Now, a viewer questioned whether or not you could secure the P100P in particular by Meidase with a cable lock. Let's answer that question.
So I can see right through the back of this camera where you can put a cable lock in there. So you don't have to worry about interlopers like raccoons or people or even woodpeckers taking off with your camera.
So you can see right here is an opening that you could thread a 1/4 inch cable right through all the way to the other side and then wrap it around your tree or other mounting point to secure your P100P camera. So I'm just setting up our cameras after we emptied the cards. I'm going to format the card on this GardePro. And I notice I've got 30% battery remaining on this, even though I haven't charged it in over, well, it's been at least a year. So I think that's pretty good performance. And to connect to these cameras, I just use the GardePro app. And the GardePro app connects to either the Meidase or the GardePro cameras. So you only need one app. And as a matter of fact, now that I'm connected, it actually tells me I've got 19% battery in this particular battery in this camera. So we are going to have to charge this one up. And like I said, it's been about a year since we last charged this battery, and I think that's excellent performance. It's out here in the hot summer months. It's out here in the freezing cold winter months. And I can tell you that freezing cold winter months here really means freezing cold. We can get down to days and even weeks on end where nighttime temperatures drop to minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit and more. And so they persist and they work even in these terrible extreme conditions. So the first thing I do with setting these up once we put the card in after we empty the cards each time is I synchronize the time to make sure it's up to date. And then I go into the settings and I format the card. So format SD card. Only takes a second, we're all done. So I demonstrated, or at least I showed you, setting up this camera with the GardePro app, in this case on an Apple iPhone. I believe the GardePro app is available for Android phones as well, so that should not be a problem, but you don't need a phone. So if you don't have a phone, you can just do everything from the menu setup right inside the controls on the camera. You just set this camera to setup mode, and then you can hit the menu button inside and use the arrows up and down to select from the menu as it appears. You can configure all of the settings on this camera or on the Meidase P100P back further into our woods. Same exact way, so no phone is necessary. And once again, just like the Meidase P100P, there is a location right here on the camera body that you could thread a 1/4-inch steel cable, I recommend stainless steel cable, through to secure it to your mounting tree or post or whatever you've got your camera secured to. And you can use either the commercial locks, cable locks. I believe Master Lock makes one that's fairly commonly used with these, or if you want to brew your own kind of with a DIY solution, you can just buy a roll of 1/4-inch stainless steel cable at your favorite home store and the connectors for that, and you can make your own cable lock sort of arrangement for this camera. But either one of these cameras, the GardePro E6P or the Meidase P100P, will allow you to run a security cable through their camera bodies. Well, thanks for joining us today at Visual Imaging Solutions. This is Dennis, and we've been going over some trail camera specifics today for the Meidase P100P and GardePro E6P trail cameras that we use. If you have any other questions about these trail cameras that we can help to answer, please let us know in the comments below. We thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe. We'll be making more videos as we go. Thanks again. Bye.